this first Candid Camera show, this man does not know he's being photographed.
Hey, listen, can you keep a secret?
What?
Can you really keep a real secret?
Yeah.
You and the baby are both on television now.
Really?
Yeah, but don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody. Promise?
I'm not.
See the camera in there?
Oh, no. Oh, no. What are you doing? Oh. You see the Candid cameras? Oh, no. Oh, my God. For years, I watched your television show for years. And I said, I gotta get on this guy's show, but there's no way in hell I'm gonna get on this guy's show. And there you are.
Are you Ellen Fudd? Are you?
When it's least expected, you're elected. You're the star today. Smile, you're on Candid Camera. With our hocus pocus, you're in focus. It's your lucky day.
We invite you to a special edition of Candid Camera, celebrating the first 40 years, with special appearances from Pam Dauber, Fannie Flagg, Emmanuel Lewis, Christy McNichol, Paul Newman, Rhea Perlman, Dinah Shore, Danny Thomas, Dr. Ruth Westheimer, and the Dean of Comedy, George Burns.
When they asked me to be part of Candid Camera's anniversary special, I said, of course, I'd be happy to. I love Candid Camera. It's a fantastic show. The only thing I have against it is that it wasn't my idea.
Fastball coming right at you right now. Here's that great delivery.
Candid Camera's been making us laugh for more than 40 years. Of course, it hasn't been around as long as I have. When I was a kid, the Dead Sea was still alive. But Candid Camera wasn't just funny, it was hilarious. It wasn't just actors and prepared scripts that made us laugh. It was real people. Ordinary, innocent, everyday people saying and doing the most hysterical things. We identified with everything we saw. And for a while, any time we found ourselves in a strange situation, we looked around for a hidden camera. Alan Funt deserves a lot of credit. He's done a great job. In fact, someday, when that final list is made up of the funniest and the best shows ever, Candid Camera will be on it, and very close to the top. That's not only my opinion. It's also Alan Funt's. So smile, everybody. It's going to be a great show.
Candid Camera, 40 years old. I swear I never thought it would last 40 days. But I also know that we were lucky. We just happened to hit on a formula that gets easier and better to do every year. The cameras get lighter. The film gets faster. The microphone's more delicate. And the people, they're always inspiring. And you know, we still find that the best things to film are those commonplace activities that all of us do every day, like talking on a telephone.
They tell me that Americans make about 8 million phone calls each and every day. And we at Candid Camera have filmed about 400 phone gags. And out of those, we picked the best to show you today.
I have to get down to City Hall because the Department of Health on account of my cough. Excuse me. Now, how do I get to... Hello? Hello?
I'm going to break every bone in your body.
West Side Highway, then take the Cross Bronx Expressway. Hello?
Wait a while. I'm either getting shorter or...
This telephone booth.
Well, why would he be standing
I
outside?
don't know. I don't speak that. I don't understand the language. I know I'm not very happy about this situation in any means.
Why don't you just tell the elephant to leave? Give it a little poke.
Did you ever poke an elephant?
Have you?
No. And you know something else?
What?
I don't intend to start poking.
Look at these children in Norman Rockwell's paintings. You know, they're still basically the same as kids today. And it's comforting to know that some things, like kids, don't change in this changing world. So we've picked some of the best candid kids to show you, and we've chosen Emmanuel Lewis to tell you about them.
When I was a kid, I used to enjoy watching the funny things that kids do. Only recently, I saw some candid camera reruns because I wasn't around 40 years ago when it first started. But I sure love to watch the young people on the show. Kids can really be cute. So let's take a look at them.
These youngsters are listening to their own hearts with a stethoscope.
This fella, he's going to find a very strange sound. He acts like he isn't quite satisfied.
Why does she have a smile on her face?
She went to the racetrack and her horse won, and she won $5,000. She talked a policeman out of the ticket. Yeah. So she backed her car out of the garage without scraping it.
What is the man in the statue doing?
Oh, he's like looking back, and he has a lid in his hand.
And why is he looking back?
Well, he's looking for the garbage can. He's throwing a box of candy to his girlfriend who lives in the woods.
What is the man in the statue doing?
He stole the hubcap and thrown it to his other friend. Throw the hubcap.
Stephen, what do you think she's doing?
Well, she's getting ready to smack a bug on the window.
Something in her hand. Would you happen to know what that might be?
Looks like a fly swatter.
Matthew, can you tell me what she's doing?
She's playing tennis with her boyfriend, and she's ready to serve. She's taking a bath, and I'm in the shower, and she's holding up her arm to wash under her arms, and she has to
Oh, Cinderella, what a gorgeous gown you have, and your hat is so beautiful. May we dance every dance tonight? I would love to dance with you now. Cinderella, you dance divinely. Now, clock is striking. 1,
I've gotta go.
2,
I gotta go.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Why? Why? Stay, it's cold outside.
No.
11, 12.
Next, Christy McNichol tells us about a fascinating reunion.
There's a certain thrill about coming back to the scene of your childhood. We gave 3 young adults that exciting experience. 26 years before, they were caught by the candid camera. And we see them now and then.
It all started in the Creative Nursery in Flushing, New York. These 3 kids were students. Now they're grown-ups scattered all over the country. We brought them back so they could share with us the experience of turning the clock back. By now, Barry Lappin is an interior designer, Jonathan Altman is a studio coordinator, and Stacy Rothenberg is a personnel recruiter. Now we watch 3 kids and 1 ice cream cone.
Bye. They'll you get yours. And no, I won't. You wouldn't. I won't be a friend then. Okay. Oh, I took the whole thing. Can I have another? I'll be your best friend. No, you can't have another. I'll never talk to you. Johnny's about to say, no. Come on, I'll be a real friend. All right, maybe he's getting another one. Can I have 1 bite? Can I also not 1 bite? Good, I'm telling on you when he gets off the phone. Okay. Wait, you almost cracked it.
I would have done the same thing I did 26 years ago. I don't think I would have been any different.
Other than offering to the 2 ladies first, probably would have been the same.
I probably would have been the same myself, although I would have taken smaller, more feminine bites.
1 more. And I thought that I'd give it to you. Okay.
Will you share it then? Yeah. I'm not going to share it to you because you had yours already.
It's 1960. Candid Camera's first year on CBS.
Somebody said, wouldn't it be funny if we took Santa Claus and made him appear for some children just a couple of days after Christmas? And you're going to see a very surprising development which teaches you not to tamper with a kid's dreams. Here comes Cindy.
Hey, Santa Claus, what are you doing here?
How are you, Cindy? Is that your name?
Yes.
Merry Christmas.
But you're so late to be here.
Merry Christmas. Now, what do you want for Christmas? Sit down, Cindy. Sit down right here. What do you want for Christmas?
I already got the things I wanted. I do believe in Santa Claus. Well, I just can't figure it out. I've got everything and I just can't figure it out.
Is it too soon?
Yes,
Too soon for what?
Christmas. It's just a week after Christmas.
Goodbye. Goodbye, Cindy. Goodbye.
We have learned so much from Candid Camera, and as years go by, the list of contributors has grown to be almost endless. Some of the most wonderful people in the world have been part of our staff. There have been great stars, people who are on their way to stardom, and highly creative and imaginative people who had both brains and beauty. But most durable of all was our own Fanny Flagg.
You know, I think Candid Camera is a success because it is probably one of the most disorganized, confusing, chaotic shows on television. And when I say disorganized and confusing, I think that's what makes it work, because it's totally spontaneous. We never knew what we were going to find when we went out to film, and 9 times out of 10, we didn't know what we were going out to film. For instance, one morning at 7:30, I walked in the office, and Alan said, "Today you're going to be a fireman." And I said, "Well, what will I do?" And he handed me a hatchet and a helmet, and he said, "Well, that's up to you." And this is what happened.
A quick change of uniform, and Fanny is now a fearless cop who salutes and then starts a search for a very important object.
What is this? I'm required to search.
I really don't know, to be honest with you. I'm like a stranger here. First day out here.
Did you notice that I was there?
Oh, yeah, right away.
A lot of people ask me, what does it take to work for Candid Camera? Well, besides being just a little bit crazy, it takes a lot of patience, because usually we'd have to film about 30 people before we got one really fabulous piece of film.
Stop it.
Well, I started on Candid Camera when I was 18, and by the time I was 19 or 20, I started directing. And that was pretty rare in those days for women directors, but I had absolutely no trouble, and Alan was the first to give women jobs. We had a woman producer, so it wasn't rare at our company. And no, I never had any trouble with it.
Let's see what we can do. Here's the car. Oh, my God! See under there? I see you have muscles. Pardon? You have muscles, that's what I see.
Okay.
Does she do this all the time?
Yeah, she does this all the time.
The register, it's right over there. Excuse me, miss. Miss? Excuse me. That'll be 10 cents for information. Are you kidding? Oh, no. I gave you instructions, and that was a 10-cent instruction. See, if you had wanted to know where the hat bar was, that was only a nickel. But register information is a dime. Oh, thank you so much.
You know, people say that Alan Funt is a tough boss, and he is, and people also say that he is stubborn as a mule, and he is. But you know what? We made it through for 20 years, and I wouldn't trade him for anything.
Coming up, some secrets behind the Candid Camera and some super secretaries.
These days, a perfect secretary needs only to be efficient, brilliant, protective, caring about your health, knowing how to solve any problem. No wonder they're so hard to find. What do you say, Danny Thomas?
You know, I always wondered why Candid Camera did so many stunts involving secretaries, but now I realize we tease and joke about those that we love the most. And a secretary who must be bright and brave and loyal and beautiful has to be the boss's greatest treasure. And because we love her, we tease her. And here are some of the ways.
Ever hear of a dog who responds to a phone ring?
My seat's getting hot. Can you hold on just a moment?
Pardon me?
Can you hold on just a moment? My seat is getting hot.
You have problem with your seat?
The seat in the chair is hot. Not my seat, the seat in the chair.
You need any help?
Next, Dinah Shore does a little investigative reporting in a dry cleaner shop in Los Angeles. Let's join Dinah and Alan.
Dinah, I thought the best place for a little bit of behind-the-camera education is right where we did something not so long ago. And this is the scene of our crime.
This is a little
cleaning
tailor shop. Yeah, tailor shop, cleaning.
And this is all where the gag was as simple as this. This fur piece
I'd have brought my dog.
was here, and we have a man who can move it at will.
Oh my goodness, it moved. It looks even rigged, but it's someone. Do you see it? Did you see it moving? Oh my God, come here and look. Did you see it?
How is the camera hidden? Have you always been able to hide it successfully?
Not always, but we frequently have good luck because people don't look. In a shop like this, Dinah, we take a screen, a folding screen like we've used for years and years. It has a cutout, and it has a glass, and there's a light coming up from a box, and it reflects on a slanted piece of clear glass, but the camera has a totally transparent view of you and me and the subject.
Now, what about microphones?
Well, I want to show you something, Dinah, because this is sort of a little bit of history here, but in the earliest days, this was the size of a microphone that we would use.
Well, I know those well, but I knew the bigger ones than that.
All right. Now, you hold this for a moment. And in order to conceal a microphone like that, I'd have a broken arm. And I'd wear this sling. And I'd have this thing in my hand like this. and then it'd have to have a wire coming out of my trouser leg.
In this ancient film, I'm carrying a very large microphone, and it's covered with a great big bandage.
What seemed so obvious to us early on, Dinah, was that half the world sees everything. The other half sees nothing. You know, maybe you could put this under their nose and they wouldn't know.
They wouldn't know what it was. They might think it was your hearing aid.
It's something like, well, hearing aid is another thing. Another thing we did early, Dinah, was?
I can see you don't care about cosmetics. Can I fix your hair?
Please do.
You're on Candid Camera.
Isn't that sweet? That's perfect. Because people were unaware of the microphone, I had a lot of trouble getting people to talk up enough.
Oh.
So I used this hearing aid in a vest pocket like this, and I pretended to be a little hard of hearing. But that didn't work. And it didn't work because people felt sorry for me.
Yes.
So they're all sort of, you know, the poor little man can't hear. So we had to abandon that. And slowly, the technology caught up with us.
Show them the size of the microphone we're using. Because that, I mean, that absolutely, where are you going now?
I have to really show you this. Don't worry about that part. I used to have to carry a recorder this size.
You're kidding.
40 pounds of recorder. Well, I thought it was a valise or something like that. It had a handle.
Yeah.
And we would do it like that. Well, we never got any awards for good sound quality, but we'd get it.
There are some props that we all remember when we were faithful watchers. I mean, like the talking mailbox. I remember that one. And then there was the car without the motor.
Right. We found that there are a half a dozen available gas stations at the bottom of a slight incline. We took a car, gutted it completely except for the chassis. We put sweet Dorothy Collins at the wheel, towed her to the top of the hill, pushed her down. When she got to the landing place, she just told the gas guy, check my oil, I'm going to wash my hair. It all went from there.
You said that a golf course, a very elegant golf course, allowed you to rip up the green and put a man under the green and put the green back, and he would spit the balls out. What happens to the ball goes right there and goes right out.
Somebody notices that there's no bottom, but from the bottom, up comes one of the most unusual retrievers in the world.
The next time we get together, I'm going to assemble all the golf gags we did to show to you. But for today, I thank you ever so much for helping us tell everybody what you might have wanted to know about Canada.
Oh, there's a lot more I want to know.
Nothing in this world makes me prouder than my 5 kids. We start with the youngest, Bill, who's a sophomore at the University of Puget Sound, Julie, a junior at Northwestern, John, a designer for Tiffany's, Patty, who has an art gallery in New York, and Peter, who has something special to say.
Candid Camera and I both have the same father. As a matter of fact, I was born just a few days before Candid Camera first went on the air. Growing up, everyone in our family was involved with the show. It was just something you did, like chores around the house. Somehow, though, I always wound up in the zanier stunts. For example, the Roman statue you're about to see in an art gallery is me, age 15. Let's watch.
I'm human. I'm just human. Could you help me out? It's so tiring standing up there. Could you stand up there for me? Just stand up there.
I got to do the carpet.
I'll do the carpet. Just for a little while till I get my strength back, and then I'll get back up there. Okay? Just stand up there. I'll show you how to do it. Just stop up. Here's the guy for at least a half hour. Now hold this feel like this. Now put your chin up just a little bit. Bend your knees just a little bit. That's it. A little bit more. Now close your eyes. Don't open them. Whatever you do, don't open your eyes, because if he comes in and sees your eyes open, you're in big trouble. Okay, I'll be right back.
Coming up, we have a special appearance by a famous barmaid and a very well-known sex therapist.
When people sit down and have a drink, whether it's beer or coffee, something happens to them.
They loosen up, let their hair down. Naturally, this is a great time to find out what people are really like. It's no wonder that Candid Camera's done more sketches at the coffee counter than almost any place else. So, climb up on a stool, have a drink, and enjoy a couple of laughs. Order fries!
Our man says, do you know that girl? No? Well, watch what I can do.
Here's a fellow with a mouthful of delicious sandwich when it's struck. Everybody looks so calm and composed, minding their own business. Nothing more peaceful than a cup of coffee. Now, here's a man who's willing to believe that styles change. First, he discovers that his cup and saucer's stuck, and then he says, well, maybe that's the way they do it. He wants to make sure that no one thinks that he's surprised at this high-class type of Get out of here. Stop that. You know what I like to do? I like to go to the dog races tonight. If they're open, are they open around here night? Sure. Hollywood Park is
Cornell University's head of the psychology department, Professor James Moss.
We at Cornell feel a close relationship with Candid Camera. The entire film library was presented to us as a gift from Alan, who graduated from here in the class of 1934. We have already identified and cataloged hundreds of film sequences that can be used as meaningful teaching aids in university psychology and sociology courses. Candid Camera has filmed nearly 1 million sequences of spontaneous human behavior. Imagine what a treasure it's going to be for future generations to be able to see and study people of our times being caught in the act of being themselves.
At colleges all over the world and at Stanford University, we see Candid Camera put to use as Dr. Philip Zimbardo teaches group pressure to a freshman class in psychology.
Why use Candid Camera films in our psychology courses? Because the genius of Candid Camera is it makes us laugh while we learn. What we laugh at is people very much like us, ordinary people in ordinary situations that have been changed to be extraordinary in some small way.
Ordinarily, when you're in an elevator, you face the front of the car. Well, in this car, the man in the middle is a candid subject. Everybody else is on our staff. And watch the way they give him a little social pressure.
Let's see what happens in such a situation.
Here's a fella with his hat on in the elevator. First, he makes a full turn to the rear, and Charlie closes the door. A moment later, we'll open the door. Everybody's changed positions.
Now, this is my favorite part. I mean, he now is really, it's in a way, it's funny in the way it's said. He's like a marionette on a string. Now, one of the things, he's still got his hat on, and they don't. And that might be he just forgot he has his hat on. So what they do, very interestingly, is one of them puts the hat on in order that he notices it, and then he takes it off.
They take off their hats. And now, do you think we could reverse the procedure? Watch.
So as students of psychology, we learn, by looking at candid camera, something about the essentials of human nature.
Now, ask Dr. Ruth.
The Candid Camera Show and I have at least one thing in common. We believe you can combine learning and laughter. Although I usually talk about sex, I want to move into one area of behavior that worries me. I think people are too easily led or misled by authority. Too often, we do what we are told to do, no matter how wrong it seems. Authority takes many forms. It can be just a sign, but many people will obey it, even if it seems absolutely ridiculous. The Candid Camera illustrates that very well.
Here is a sign that reads backward zone. It's on a sidewalk. These two people first are our people. Just as sure as you're a foot high, whether you're with a child or not, you turn when we turn. Notice this glass door is now open to one of the people on our staff, but here's the fella for whom it's closed. Now, as our camera moves in, you can see what it says on both sides of the door. Other people only. And this gentleman looks like he is just in poor luck that day because everybody walks through the door. But then they show him it's for other people only. Wake me at 2:15.
Hey, bud, can I have the coat?
Walk on white squares only.
And he can read that sign because there's another one like it on the other side. And don't you think he obliges?
Had a restroom not far from here, and it had the conventional doors. All we have to do is cover them up with us, and then the other one is them. And of course, you don't have to wait long for traffic. As long as you've got the signs and the right location, you're in business. And now what? It looks like he's going to let her be the pioneer. Let's see.
You going in there? Okay, I'm going in here. Mr. Millions.
Now watch this lady with the skirt. Woo-hoo!
Most people don't know that Candid Camera has a separate charitable foundation set up to distribute films and tapes to sick people anywhere in the world, free of charge. It's called Laughter Therapy. Alan Funt is good enough to credit me with a part in having started it.
Laughter Therapy at the Wellness Community in Santa Monica.
It's a pleasure for me to be here as a surgeon talking about laughter. Laughter is physiologic and scientific. I have tried to use it always with my patients. Candid Camera, I know, has helped me heal a lot of problems in my life, and I know how significant it has been in the lives of others. In each hospital room is a wonderful instrument called a television set. I'd love to see closed-circuit television available for every patient so that in the midst of pain or difficulties dealing with a significant issue related to their illness, they could turn on Candid Camera.
I remember especially the one where the children were interviewed about what cavities were, and they talked about the bracelets on their teeth. And Eddie laughed then, and he laughs today just thinking about it.
What does a dentist do when you have a cavity, Ashley?
You put bracelets in it.
Bracelets in it?
Yes, if you got cavities, you have to put bracelets in it.
And that must be good for you. It must be good for a person to laugh.
Candid camera, I think, is important, not just because it's funny and because it's original, but a few years ago when John Huston was very ill, and he had mentioned to me something years before about Candid camera being his favorite program, I called Alan, and I said, John is sick. And Alan sent, I don't know how many hours of stuff. And whenever Houston would get in the dumps, he'd run that, and it would make him laugh. And he said if he could laugh for half an hour, he could go 4 hours without pain. That's what I remember about Candid camera.
Here's Pam Dauber.
I was asked to choose my favorite Candid camera episode, and I jumped at the chance to choose the musical Traffic Cops. Then I learned that there were many other Candid camera musical episodes. They're all a part of seeing life set to appropriate melodies. And if you look at it the right way, even a dog wagging its tail could be like conducting a canine concert. So it's my pleasure to present the musical side of Candid Camera. We'll start first with children learning how to wink. You'll be surprised to see how this simple act can be set to music.
allowed myself 40 seconds at the close of this 40th anniversary show to go over some of my own personal highlights. I must include the talking mailbox.
Here's another guy I don't believe there's someone in the box. Speak up.
And some of those wonderful people. President Harry Truman taking his walk down Park Avenue.
Mr. Truman, would you mind smiling toward that truck over there? That's Candid Camera. Well, look at it. That's been following you.
Muhammad Ali, one of the most fascinating men I ever met. And Woody Allen, before he even thought of being a big star.
I love you, exclamation point. I must have you, 2 exclamation points. You are everything to me, 3 exclamation points. The world...
And was it courage or craziness that brought us to Moscow to film without a permit in the Moscow subway? And of course, the most wonderful reward of all, going anywhere in the world and running into people who said, "Thanks, Alan. You made us smile." I should close this show by saying sometime, somewhere, but you know the rest. Good night, everybody.
התוכנית 40 שנה למצלמה הנסתרת